What's going on, everyone? What is going on? It is Thursday, November 21st, 2024, and we are back with another midday stream here on the Torian Rain Reloaded channel. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Shout out to everybody that is in the chat so far. I'm glad that you are all here. So as you can see, we are talking about Michael Strahan today and this fake outrage that people are having, a certain sector of people, because I could care less, but apparently they want to have something to be mad at, and they need a target, and Michael Strahan is that target, and it's absolutely ridiculous. For not placing his hand over his heart during the playing of the national anthem at a Veterans Day NFL game. But before we get into all of that, let me acknowledge those who are in the chat so far. We got Raging Woody, 74, Reparations Nations, Wallow J, Jesse Paris, Dimple Face, Jago the Road, DeMarcus Vaughn, Denise Scales, Kendall, Brooklyn Queen, Brother Man to You, Derry B, Cornell Slide, Dewani, RC, Don P, George Golden, and it looks like that is it so far. Oh yeah, I saw that, Dimple Face. When I saw that news about Jussie Smollett, I said, now they about to be mad. Even they about to have a conniption over that. I probably won't talk about that, but when I saw the headline, I said they about to lose their minds over that too. They're trying to find something to be mad at because they are all losing their mind. It's crazy because I'm like, didn't your guy that you wanted get back in the office? And they're still mad. It's never enough. But anyway, y'all, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get into where this whole thing even started and like how I found out about this, because I didn't know what it was about until I saw Michael Strahan trending. And I said, I don't see him trending on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, much. So I said, let me go ahead and see why he's trending. And when I saw it, I said, really? This is why he was trending? Wallow J said, what happened with Jussie? Oh, they overturned his conviction from the hoax that he did a couple years ago. They overturned it. But let's go ahead and get into this. So this post right here is, in my opinion, what really set it off, because this post right here, it has a lot of traction. It got views 17, almost 18 million times since being posted up on November 10th, 2024. It's 11 days later, y'all. Got 13,000 replies, 19,000 reposts, 69,000 likes, and over 1,700 bookmarks. I only bookmarked it for the sake of this stream. But you have this person right here whose name is Todd Starnes. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his last name. And before I get into what he said, let me read the bio. His bio says, Newsmax host. That's already a red flag. And when I see Newsmax, basically Newsmax is like the cousin to Fox News, which ironically, he mentions Fox News also in his bio. He's a best-selling author and host of the Todd Starnes radio show weekdays at noon, toddstarnes.com, Fox News alum. So we read his credentials and his bio. That pretty much tells you all you need to know as it pertains to this dude right here. So let's get into the actual post itself. Todd said, Michael Strahan disrespected the military during a Veterans Day pregame show on NFL Fox. The great irony is Strahan on a ship surrounded by men and women who would willingly sacrifice their lives to protect his freedom. So his behavior is not just repugnant, it's downright cowardly. Now, anyone who will look at this picture would be like, okay, what in the world is Todd upset about based on this picture? I mean, you have all the men right there. They're clearly, there's something going on. They're standing, and obviously something's going on where they're giving their undivided attention. So if you took away his caption, you were like, what is he upset about? This dude, Todd Starnes, made a mountain out of a molehill because Michael Strahan did not put his hand over his heart during the playing of the national anthem. First of all, I didn't know that was a requirement. I did not know placing your hand over your heart was a requirement during the playing of the national anthem. I do, however, remember when I was in elementary school, when we had to do the Pledge of Allegiance, we had to stand up and put our hand over our heart for that. So this Todd Starnes person must got it confused or something like that. But like I said, he had to make a mountain out of a molehill with this. And of course, Michael Strahan was the target of that. Now, what's interesting is if you go to any, say, sporting event, I'll use sporting event because that's real simple. When they tell you about the playing of the national anthem, they'll usually say something like this: please rise, remove your caps if you're like wearing any headwear for the playing of the national anthem. They don't say, please rise, remove your headwear, and put your hand over your heart. That is optional. Some people will stand there, just stand there. Some people, will put their hand over their heart. Some people put their hand with the hat over their chest as well. And of course, if they're in the military, some will hold and stand at a salute because that's something that they're just used to. As you can see by this picture, all the military personnel, which this looks like the Navy, all stood and stood at salute. As long as you're not being disruptive, there's no issue. If you are going to sing, it would be that song. You're singing along with whoever is performing, or if they're playing an instrumental, like some people like to sing along to the music, that's fine. But nothing Michael Strahan was doing here was being disrespectful. He wasn't being cowardly, none of that. But this Todd Starnes person decided to put this out here because he needed a target. These people are bored out of their mind that they will do anything to express their anti-Blackness. And how many times have we gone to different sporting events when that song is playing? The people that's outside on the concourse aren't stopping for it. They going about their business, trying to get their food, go to the restroom, none of that. No one stops outside. They're still making noise. Like I said, has to find something to be mad at. Again, this is making the mountain out of a molehill. So let's go through these comments. Shout out to the Resistance. Someone I follow on X. I think they follow me as well. They put up a picture. So here's a picture right here of Trump during his first administration, where you have him. You have a person right here. I'm not sure what they're doing right here, but I'm guessing something is being performed. But you have Melania right here and Barron Trump, and it looks like the Easter Bunny behind him. So I'm guessing this was an Easter event. Now look at the hand placements. Barron Trump has his hand over his heart. Melania has hers over her heart, but Trump has his hands by his side. No one called it out. But look at the excuse that this person right here wrote, and their name fits them perfectly. They said the Marine hasn't yet saluted, meaning the flag hasn't been presented. What? I mean, the amount of excuses that they made to try to back up their claim is ridiculous. And they even posted another video right here where they got their hands over their heart. You see Melania and Barron. And what is Trump doing? Waving his hands like he's a conductor and pointing all over the place and moving. And it looks like he's mouthing something to somebody. Let's go through some of these comments. Someone says FOH. It says, you Newsmax clowns will say anything. Strahan is a military brat and has given plenty of money to military and veteran causes. Look it up before you say something stupid. Someone else says, I placed my hand over my heart for the pledge. I stand at attention for the colors. My MOS was 12B. What was yours? And of course, oh, here's another picture. So we already seen this one, but now look at this one. This was when they were having the debates during the first back in 2016. You got Marco Rubio, Ben Carlson, and Ted Cruz. All of them have their hands placed over their heart, but guess who doesn't have theirs? Again, Trump. Someone else says, don't speak on things you clearly don't know about. Go on a base and see how many service members have their hand over their heart for the anthem. If you can't tell me how many because you haven't spent time on a base, please step back. And of course, this picture right here is going to continue to come up. Like they're going to continue to put that picture out there. And it goes on and on and on. So for the most part, there was major pushback in the comments and replies to what Todd was trying to push out or convey. This was a failed attempt at being anti-Black, a very failed one. But it didn't stop with just Todd. And that's why I said what Todd did by doing that, it led to what I'm about to show you here. So look at this, y'all. This is coming from Newsweek. It says, Michael Strahan threw a reporter's phone over national anthem controversy. That basically means it's saying that a reporter came and approached Michael Strahan about this, and it basically stemmed from what that Todd Starnes person put out there. There were other posts as well, but I think his garnered the most traction. So let's read what this is talking about. Michael Strahan was recently critiqued for not placing his hand over his heart during the national anthem, but his reaction to a reporter amid the drama is making headlines today. In a video obtained by the Daily Mail, the 52-year-old Good Morning America co-host snatched the device when he saw the journalist waiting outside of his New York City home on Tuesday, November 13th. First of all, he's lucky all he did was get the phone snatched out of his hand. You camped out in front of my house for a weak story? He says, don't come to my house, Strahan yelled as he grabbed the phone and, excuse me, and tossed it into a nearby bush. Later that day, the NFL star turned beloved TV host addressed both the national anthem controversy and his behavior toward the reporter in order to set the record straight. He stated as saying, I want to address what happened this past weekend, and I feel like I need to address it because it spilled over to the point where I'd get out of my car today and I'm ambushed by a media outlet here at my house. Admitting regret over his reaction, Strahan shared, I'm not proud of the way I handled that whole situation, but he emphasized his protective instincts were in play. You got to protect your family and you got to protect your home, which is what I felt like I needed to do in that moment. Here's the thing, Michael, you didn't do anything wrong. And first of all, that reporter, don't forget, Michael Strahan played in the NFL for many years. Michael Strahan is still a rather athletic built dude, and he's pretty tall. If he wanted to, Michael Strahan could have plucked that reporter from one end of the block to the next for that stunt that they pulled. And also keep this in mind, if y'all are unaware, Michael Strahan has actually been dealing with a lot of family issues because if y'all don't know, one of his daughters has cancer. Either has it or had it. I don't know if she's in remission or not. But when I actually typed in Michael Strahan's name to get these articles that I'm reading to y'all today, if you type his name in, they're really talking about him and his daughter. One of his daughters has or had cancer, and she's only like 20 something. She's like in her early 20s. She's very young. So to have to deal with a personal family issue with one of his daughters, because I think his daughter is a twin, and then have to deal with this fake outrage behind not putting his hand over his heart for the anthem is absolutely ridiculous. And who knows, his daughter could have been inside of the home, inside of the house. So of course, what he's going to do, he's going to go into protective mode. Let's continue. The controversy began during the Sunday, November 10th Fox NFL Sunday broadcast in San Diego on Veterans Day. Surrounded by Navy service members, the former football star stood out for not placing his hand over his heart during the anthem, which quickly sparked backlash. Everyone thought he's protesting, he's making a statement, which is so far from the truth. I have nothing to protest, Strahan clarified. He expressed his deep respect for the military, adding the only statement that should be made and that I want to make is that I love the military. And why wouldn't he? Like it was mentioned, he's a military brat. He was floated around because his dad was in the military. So he already knows firsthand what that is like. Reflecting on the moment the retired athlete revealed he was simply overwhelmed by the significance of the young sailor's commitment. I'm looking at all these young sailors and I'm thinking to myself, how incredible. How incredible to be that young and to know that you want to do this, he shared. Caught up in the moment, he missed the cue to place his hand over his heart. Strahan extended an apology to any offended military members and veterans, stressing, I'm a product of the military, a proud lover of the military, and a proud lover of those who serve now, before now, and who will serve in the future. You have one person right here saying, I saw the video Strahan put out addressing this, and I will continue, and I will take him at his word. And see, the thing is, he's addressing who should be addressed, which is the people in the military. They're the ones that they weren't the ones offended. Again, that's why I said MAGAmerica, because while I did go over Todd Starnes' post, if you looked at the quoted parts, a lot of them were agreeing with what Todd said, and they mostly were the ones that helped to get I would say, help transfer 45 into 47. Despite his public apology, which in my opinion he should not have given, but it is what it is, the incident sparked a flurry of reactions. While his Instagram comments were turned off, X, formerly known as Twitter, became a battlefield of opinions. Critics blasted his actions as disrespectful, with one user writing, "We do not accept your apology. You knew what you was doing. I hope they keep ambushing you." However, others accepted his apology with comments like, "I saw the video Strahan put out addressing this, and I will take him at his word and believe what he said." Like I said, fake outrage and people saying, "I hope they keep ambushing you." But you want to know the most craziest part of this whole situation? Was attached to the post that Todd Starnes put out there in this article right here is this one right here, coming from this website called Essentially Sports that was put out on the 17th. Now, if you looked at the thumbnail, this picture is in the thumbnail. Now, look at how they started off with America divided as $65 million Fox broadcaster Michael Strahan gets bogged down in a national debate. Why in the world did you put that man's salary into the headline? And it's a rhetorical question. We know why they did it. They are actually out here calling for Michael Strahan to be fired because he did not place his hand over his heart during the playing of the national anthem. But these are the same people that say they don't like cancel culture. These are the same people that be going twerking up and down everybody's timeline talking about get rid of cancel culture. But these are also the same people who bastardize the word woke. And right, who's divided? No one's divided on this. Again, y'all made this into a whole nothing burger into a bigger nothing burger. Let's get into it. Who knew a day that would start with one NFL legend jumping off an MH-60s helicopter into the Pacific Ocean would end with another NFL legend becoming the subject of a nationwide criticism? Because that's how Fox NFL Sunday's 2-hour special on November 10th in honor of the veterans they played out for Rob Gronkowski and Michael Strahan, respectively. Currently in its 31st season, the number one NFL pregame show continued its tradition of going live from a military base. This year, it was from the Naval Base San Diego to honor the men and women who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. However, the focus shifted to Michael Strahan during the national anthem. When the Star-Spangled Banner was played, the New York Giants legend was spotted standing with his hands interlocked near his waist. The rest of his crew members, though, including Gronkowski, Kurt Menefee, and Terry Bradshaw, placed their right hand over their hearts, and for many, Strahan not following the same protocol didn't sit right. And we know who was pissed off about this. It wasn't us. It wasn't me. Determined to set the record straight, Strahan took to social media, shared his heartfelt perspective, and offering a candid defense of his side of the story. First, he took to Instagram to share a tribute to his late father, Major Gene W. Strahan Sr., who spent 23 years serving in the U.S. military. He said, "This is my hero. It is also my father, Major Gene W. Strahan Sr. He served for 23 years in the Army and was a proud member of the 82nd Airborne Division." Strahan captioned the post. But even after that, fans remained unconvinced and continued to express their anger. Soon, more controversy followed him. Last Tuesday, after hosting ABC's Good Morning America show, when he returned home, a reporter asked for the 52-year-old comments on the situation. In response, Michael Strahan asserted, "Don't come to my house," and grabbed the reporter's phone before tossing it into the bush and heading inside. However, Strahan posted another Instagram video clarifying the situation and expressing regret over his actions with the reporter. I'm not going to read it because we already read that quote. Witnessing all the backlash, Jay Glazer, who was also on the show, tweeted, "Let me tell you this. I don't know if I have a friend who was more proud of his military roots than Michael. Growing up on an army base, constantly talking about what he learned from his dad, defending the former player." Glazer added, "Ask him if he's protesting something. When you protest, you want people to know, don't you? He was not. He just got caught up in how beautiful the whole moment was during the anthem and didn't think about it." As for Fox, who Michael Strahan's worked for since 2008, the broadcasting channel didn't think he was in the wrong either. A source told Daily Mail his peers have his back and understand that he wasn't making the moment about himself. There isn't going to be any type of punishment or fine going Michael's way. All said and done, though, no matter what, the Giants legend is claiming, netizens are not happy with him. Columnist and former Fox News employee that I'm not going to reread what Todd Starnes wrote. It says, even though Michael Strahan cleared things up, fans still aren't buying it. Well, that's on them. They aren't backing down and urging the network to fire him. That's crazy. They want the network to fire this man because he didn't put his hand over his heart. They say he got caught up in the moment and he just simply forgot. A user wrote, "What a very poor performance by Michael. He wouldn't be where he is today if so many Americans didn't like and support him." What did I tell y'all yesterday as it pertained to Jalen Green and how a lot of these PC fans like to always say, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be where you're at? Look at what this person just wrote here. They said he wouldn't be where he is today if so many Americans didn't like and support him. No, dummy. He wouldn't be where he is today if it wasn't for the hard work that he put in. At NFL Fox should rethink their decision to pay such an unpatriotic person. Some question his patriotism. Michael Strahan hates America. People are relentlessly dragging the legend, calling him all sorts of names. Yeah, how about when you have respect and put your hand over the heart during the national anthem on Veterans Day at a military base? Considering how so many people look up to the legend, a fan wrote, "Wow, never expected this out of you. So ashamed and disappointed in you, but you're the one who should feel shame in front of God and your country. SMH. Some even call for Fox to fire him. They say, yep, Fox should fire Strahan. What a disgrace. With a few even creating a hashtag that says hashtag fire Strahan. Someone said he needs to be fired tomorrow, another wrote. While there's a lot of backlash, some people are stepping up to defend the former defensive end. Michael Strahan's dad served in the military for 23 years. He grew up on a U.S. Army base in Germany and was given tons of money to veteran charities. He's standing quietly at attention. We need to stop getting so upset at every little thing. Some people have accepted his apology and are urging others to just move on from the whole situation. As for the calls to fire him, Fox Sports have made their stance on the controversy clear. In the midst of swirling controversy and heated discussions, Fox Sports took a thoughtful approach to address the unfolding situation. According to Daily Mail, the network decided not to impose any sanction for what they see as an honest mistake. A source told Daily Mail his peers have his back and understand that he wasn't making the moment about himself. There isn't going to be any type of punishment or fine going Michael's way. Fox Sports didn't immediately react to the controversy to avoid any unnecessary conflict, but has now made its position on Strahan clear. It was never addressed in the moment. All of this came later when the trolls got on it. Michael was in the moment and in no way, shape, or form objecting to the moment at hand. This was an internet controversy that was never in his thoughts to start. During his media career, Strahan hasn't faced much criticism. Even after his sincere clarification to Fox's support, Strahan continues to navigate the challenging currents of a national controversy that stubbornly refuses to subside. It remains to be seen in the Hall of Fame as further addresses the issue in the wake of fans still calling for his removal. At this point, Michael Strahan, you've already said what you said. Don't keep addressing it. You've already said what you had to say. Let it be there. Just let it be right there. If they gonna be that upset about it, hey, it is what it is. Now, the last thing I'm going to show y'all, it has nothing to do with Michael Strahan, but when I saw and heard about this, it reminded me of this situation that happened back in 2016. And I don't know if Dimpleface is referring to what I'm thinking about, because Dimpleface said it's 2016 all over again. But it reminded me of something that happened on a grand stage with athletes back then. Who remembers this? If you remember this right here that you see on your screen, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't remember this, put a 2. This was back in 2016 during the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And this was when the U.S. women's team had won the team event. They got gold. And as you can see, they have all of the gymnasts on that team right there. And, you know, they're playing their anthem because they won. All of them have their hands over their heart except one. That one being Gabby Douglas. And I remember the backlash that Gabby Douglas got from the usual suspects because she didn't place her hand over her heart during the playing of the anthem. It was the same type of backlash that Michael Strahan is getting right now. The only reason hers didn't last as long is because the Olympics is only every 4 years, whereas Michael Strahan, he's there every day. But I remember that. And I'm like, are y'all serious? Y'all made it seem like the woman was doing gymnastic maneuvers while standing in the line. Y'all made it seem like she was just like sitting there like she didn't want to be there or rolling her eyes and whatnot. They literally made her public enemy number 1 after her and her team just did all those gymnastic maneuvers, those tricks, and putting their body through all of that stress to entertain them. And they got so upset because she didn't follow suit. Again, putting your hand over your heart during the national anthem is not a requirement. Let them tell it. But see, again, they have put themselves out there to be the quote unquote most patriotic people more than anybody else, when we know that is far, far from the truth. And yes, also the obvious, she's a black woman. I'm just saying, that's why when I first saw or heard about what was going on with Michael Strahan, I said, where have I seen this before? And I said, right here. The hooligan says Michael Phelps didn't put his hand over his heart and they gave him a pat. There you go. And let's not also forget what what's his name? That swimmer. It had nothing to do with that. Ryan Lochte. Y'all remember what he did, right? Man, they tried to give that man the ultimate pass for what he did, and that was way worse than not putting your hand over your heart during the anthem. But anyway, y'all know what time it is. I'm putting the link right there in the chat. I'm actually kind of pressed for time today, so I'm only going to keep the line open until 1 or until nobody else comes up, but it has to be before 1. So if anybody would like to come up and speak to this, the link is right there in the chat. But if you haven't done so already, please be sure to go ahead and hit the like button. There's 141 people in here. Shout out to all of you. Okay.
What's up, Torian? What's going on, everybody in the chat? The fake trick strikes again. They never cease to amaze us, Torian. Good God Almighty. It's like you want everybody to do everything you want, but as soon as somebody else did it, like 45, 47 do it, you give them a pass. Nobody cares, man. All over nothing. Pocket watching. Why are you pocket watching? Why do you, like, first thing you do? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on real quick, Tony.
Yeah, I think Wallows is on the clock right now.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what happens when you at work and you trying to talk at the same time. I apologize, but I'm gonna keep it short and brief. Nobody cares. Be one.
B1. Shout out to Wallow for coming up. Next up, we got Detroit Sonny. What's going on?
What's going on, brother? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. First and foremost, man. Good afternoon to you, man. I hope all is well with you. Thank you for all you do.
Appreciate you.
Uh,
Same to you.
oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just want to say, man, I get sick and tired of these white people trying to tell us how how they feel about that flag and that anthem. We have a completely different experience in this country since we've been here. So the nerve of you to expect us to feel some type of camaraderie to this song, which was written by a blatant racist who was talking about hunting slaves to the grave. That's the first thing for me. I'm also the son of a veteran, son of a federal cop. He gave a lot to this country, and now he's at the point where he's having health problems with his heart. First and foremost, he tried to when he was struggling with these people to try to get medicine. They was telling him like $1,800 for a 30-day dose, and
Wow.
then now he needs an operation. They gassing him up like, yeah, you'll be able to get your operation, blah blah blah, this and that. And now that the insurance not gonna pay for it, and he got that military insurance TRICARE. So I say that to say, and especially with black veterans, you expect people to be patriotic, but a lot of people then gave their heart, soul, been away from their family for years, and then when it comes time for them to need you, they can't get nothing from you. Migrants is getting put over these people. So I'll land there, Torian, man. Good broadcast as always. Keep doing your thing. Peace to the family. Be one.
B1. Shout out to Detroit Sonny from coming up. Next up, we got EQ Military Vet. What's going on?
I'm doing good, brother. So I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps, and the slacktivism by these PC folks just blows my mind. They have nothing to be proud of. So what they then have to do is tear anybody else who's doing it down. So my question is, where was the author of this piece on Veterans Day? We know where Mike was. He was on a war vessel honoring our service members and our veterans. I know where I was. I was raising money for homeless vets. I took part in 3 veteran ceremonies through the American Legion. Where are they at? Nowhere to be found. I'm old enough that I had just gotten out of active duty when 9/11 hit. And if you remember, there were American flags everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I had some old PC dude at my job question me on where my American flag was. And I was still in the reserves at the time. And just sat there and questioned my patriotism. He had never served. He had never raised his hand. He had never deployed to a combat zone. But I'm now going to hold this over your head because I'm doing something that takes no effort, no sacrifice. That's all I got, brother. I'm out. Landing my plane.
Appreciate you. Shout out to you. And shout out to the people that's coming up that are like, veterans themselves. I love getting the perspective from y'all because y'all definitely tell it like it is. And speaking as another person who has also served, y'all know who about to come up to the stage. Hurricane Nisi is sweeping up to the panel yet again.
Now, you knew I was coming up. Good afternoon, Torian. Good afternoon, family in the chat. I served my country for 8 years. I was in the first Gulf War conflict. Nobody other than FBA, are truly patriots. But that flag hits a little different for military. And I'm only speaking for myself. No matter the branch of the military, they see Black Americans serving their country. We're expendable. And like the gentleman before me, he spoke facts. We serve our country. We're getting older. We need the help. We get told no. I ain't got no more to say because I'm about to blow my gasket and I'm at work. I need my job. Love you, boo-boo.
Love you too. Shout out to Ms. Nisi. And also people forget when it comes to a little bit of history about that flag. A Black woman designed that American flag. And I believe that she was enslaved when she designed it, when she made it, when she designed it, stitched it, and everything. But does she get the credit? Of course not. Because notice whenever they talk about that flag, they never go into the history of who made it, of who designed it, who stitched it together. And, one turned into many. Now it's all for public consumption and making millions of dollars, all of which I'm sure that if this woman has any descendants, probably doesn't get a dime off of it. Oh yeah, Dimple Face. I don't know if you didn't know. Yes, let me pull her up. Someone just actually typed her name in the chat. Let me see if I can find her. Okay, I think I found her picture. Hold on, y'all. I don't think now looking at her picture, I don't think she was enslaved, but I gotta look and see just to be sure. Okay, she wasn't. Okay, she was born a free black woman. Well, free black girl. But let me go ahead and share the screen right quick. All right, y'all. So that's her. This is her. She was born in Baltimore, Maryland. She was born a free black woman, and she helped to create that flag. So if y'all needed a little bit of history, y'all got a little history lesson today. That is her. But I got another person that wants to come up. Let me bring myself back over to the main screen. Pinky JYB, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
All right, hey chat, what's going on? I have a quick question and it's mainly sarcastic. Where was all this energy when Chad Wheeler put hands on his girlfriend?
Yeah, you ask them about Chad Wheeler, they'd be like, "Who?" That's probably how to respond to it. And it's interesting that you say that because even though this has nothing to do with the topic, on Monday I will be talking about the Lake and Riley case, well, the situation involving her, and because everyone probably knows the details or the outcome of the person who unfortunately, I would say, unalived her back in February. And the reason why I'm gonna be talking about it is because just like how they're doing fake outrage with Michael Strahan, they're doing the same thing with her, and I'm about to call them out on it. And it's so easy. They give away their position away so easily. So I'm gonna be talking about that on Monday. I'm gonna talk about that on Monday.
Funny thing is, they treated Chad Wheeler like he was some sort of mental case, in the beginning when everything started coming out. And keep in mind, he was just downright violent. Michael didn't do anything. He didn't rape anyone. He didn't beat anyone. Yet they're treating him like he did.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna land my plane there. Thank you for having me. B1.
B1. Exactly. Brother Menti, you said what exactly is unalived? Well, it's a word that begins with M. I'm sure you could probably put that together. But yeah, I'm gonna be talking about on Monday. My Monday live is going to be on Lake and Riley, because they already found guilty and convicted the person who did it, and he got sentenced to life in prison for what he did. And I want to go over that a little bit, and I also wanted to again talk about the fake outrage and how they tried to exploit this young lady for their own agenda. But I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm gonna just wait until Monday, and you'll see exactly what I mean by that. Does anybody else want to come up? Like I said, I'm gonna keep it open until 1 o'clock. If not, I can shut it down. Y'all let me know in the chat. If anybody hasn't come up yet, then I'll drop the link again. Okay, brother man, he said just making sure. Cool. Yeah, that's whatever you thought it was. That's exactly what I mean. I told people, I said, when this new guard comes in, or this returning guard comes in, I'm gonna be going in on them every chance I get. Like I said, they make it too easy. And I keep telling people, I don't know if I said it yet, but some of the best content I can find to talk about on here comes off of X. So there's one upside to Elon owning that platform, is because that's where he allowed all the dummies to flourish. Of course, there are some intelligent people on there, but the ones who decided to get that blue check after he purchased it, those are the dummies. What's going on, talking to Grubbin? DSA once said the USC coach Lincoln Riley. No, not Lincoln Riley. Laken Riley. She was the young college student down there in Georgia who was taken out by that illegal immigrant back in February, and he just got sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because a certain sector, such as the one that wants to have fake outrage with Michael Strahan, decided they're going to try to exploit her death and turn it into a political thing. And it's like, where was all of this outrage back in February when she lost her life? When I was doing my Migrant Madness series of videos or streams at the time, I remember talking about her. And that was back in February, at the end of February, because she died on February 22nd. Wallager says, have you seen Vivek's skin difference on X? No. Did he get lighter? Did he get lighter? Jay said the dude was found guilty. Yeah, he was found guilty yesterday. It was a lot of stuff that came out yesterday. You had Susan Smith. Her parole was denied. Thank God. He was found guilty yesterday. You got the French actor. He got all his charges dropped today. Talking to Grumman says MTJ, well, Marjorie Taylor Greene hijacked the Say Their Name movement from Black people when she made Biden say Laken Riley's name at his State of the Union. Of course they did. Don't come up with nothing original. Cosmo says they're whining away. She has no strong, and that comment, Cosmo, that you just left is one of the main reasons why I'm doing that live on Monday. I saw that and I said they found a way to bring him up in every way possible. The only way I bring up George Floyd's name is when they bring him up in the way that they do. Other than that, I could go months, maybe years without saying that man's name. But they, again, because of the outcome of that case, of that situation, is why they keep bringing him up. That's all it boils down to. We live rent-free in their heads when we are either alive and winning or even in death. This man has been gone for over 4 years, and they still can't go a week without bringing him up in the negative. Brother Menti says, does this mean Jussie Smollett can be employed again? Well, actually, to my knowledge, I think he has been working on some stuff behind the scenes, even while all of this was going on. Just nothing big and major like he once was doing. I said one of the worst things that this man could have did is, why would you pull this hoax on your rise to the top? Some people, when they want to do something dumb, which I don't advocate that they do it while they're already at the top of their success. You was doing that on your rise up. Like that, like I said, you're working backwards. You're trying to get up there, and you were working your way up there. You was on your way, and then you pulled this stunt. It's like, and why did you have to do it? Why? So that's going to be something else I'm sure they're going to be mad about over on X. I'm almost certain of it. They're probably crying over there right now. Yeah, you can put it in the Discord, Wallow. Andre said, it's unfortunate the brother is going through this, but I'm of the belief that a lot of our people with riches that don't think they can be affected by the deep-seated hatred in this country should face. Well, you're not lying. Well, you're not wrong about that, because I've said that before. A lot of people, a lot of Black people, especially those who have made it, quote unquote, feel like they are immune. I'm like, you're not. This is a system that predates you and your fame. And if they want to affect that, if that system wants to affect that, it will do that. It's nice and everything that you have all of these accolades, and we commend you for doing that. You worked hard to get wherever it is that you are in life, and we salute you for that. At the end of the day, don't lose yourself at the same time. Don't forget where you came from, and don't forget that this system will destroy you if it wants to. And don't be shocked or surprised by it either if it does. That's why I was so proud of Jalen Green yesterday when I was doing my live on him, about him confronting Stephen A. Smith and him saying the stuff that he was saying. Like, he's standing on his square. And this guy's like 22, 23 years old. He's in the generation behind me. Well, I don't know how to put it. He's Gen Z. I'll put he's Gen Z. I don't know what. Listen, Elon Musk, he got that new cabinet position, and it literally is a new position because it was one that was just created over there with Donald Trump. Oh, by the way, y'all, tomorrow at 6, that is going to be the live topic tomorrow. I'm telling y'all now, the live topic tomorrow is going to be about Trump's cabinet picks. I'm sure some of you have already seen some other people in the New Black Media cover it. I know Lisa talked about it. I think the 1LVZ talked about it. So I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow. I wanted to wait until all of them or most of them have been selected before I actually did a stream on it. So tomorrow we're gonna go over all of Trump's cabinet picks and also make fun of those who did all that tap dancing and didn't get one spot. So tomorrow's gonna be fun. I sound like KG right now. But anyway, y'all, it doesn't look like anybody else is coming up, but that's fine. But shout out to everyone that did come up and speak. Shout out to all of each and every one of you. This is another midday live in the books. We will be back here tomorrow. I got the 10 a.m. of course pre-record video coming for y'all tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then at 6, like I just told you, we will be going over Trump's cabinet picks. And with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe and be one.